Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 22 transfer plans / transfer targets video. In this one, we're going to cover how we got in Game Week 21. We'll take a quick little recap how the team got on. We'll take a look at what my current transfer plans are looking like for this game week. I'm going to just talk about just some teams to target over the next sort of 5-6 game weeks. Just looking at some short-term upsides. So we'll go over a couple of them. And of course, I'll show you what my team is currently lined up looking like for Game Week 22 as well. So I do hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And as always, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. So in this one, like I said, we're going to talk a lot about, transfer plans, transfer targets this week. We'll start off firstly with how we got in Game Week 21. And it was actually a really good game week. We finished on 58 points. We did get green arrow. We're up to 641,000 in the world right now. So we are moving in the right direction. Hopefully, fingers crossed, over the next sort of few weeks, we can sort of propel ourselves up closer towards our main goal of being in that top 100K. So Donnarumma first up in goal. Very disappointing game week from him. 1 point. I've spoken about him over the last few weeks. He has been good in some games, but other games, it's just, this is what happens with him. It's either a 6 or 7 pointer, or it's a 1 or 2 pointer. And I just think for the amount of money you're paying for him, I think that there's probably other goalkeepers around sort of 5 million to 4.5 that are just going to consistently get you more points. Somebody that over the next few weeks will probably be moved out, but 1 point for him. The defense actually did okay. We got 2 clean sheets, obviously double Arsenal defense, Gabriel and Timber. Gabriel was my captaincy. So unlucky. I thought he scored right at the very end, which would have been a massive, insane haul for him, especially as my captain as well, but wasn't meant to be. But we'll take the clean sheet nonetheless. He did match Erling Haaland, which is, the damage wasn't too bad. Michael Keane finished on 5 points. I don't know how this has happened. I mean, there was at one stage that he was actually predicted to be on 15 points. He scored first on, they had a clean sheet. He was on 3 bonus, and then he went and got, they conceded. He went and got a silly red card, and unfortunately dropped him down to only 5 points. The midfield, again, I feel like this is my same conversation every week. Really disappointing. Mateus Cunha with a blank, only 2 points. Phil Foden with another blank, 2 points. I have moved him out. We are going to talk about him in the next section. Morgan Rogers, 3 points. Again, very underwhelming from him. But my hero of my game weeks over the last few weeks, Bruno Guimaraes, again, 11 points. Another goal for him. Just this man over the last few weeks has just actually saved where my rank is. He got 10 points, and 11 points. So he's been ticking over really nicely. And then onto the forward line, Jarrod Bowen, another blank. Again, we are going to be talking about him and whether or not he's going to be leaving my team. Erling Haaland, just the 1 goal for him from the penalty spot, 6 points. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a goal and an assist, taking him to 8 points, which obviously gave us the total of 58 points. And a green arrow up to 640k. So really good game week for us. Let's just jump into what my transfer plans are looking like for this coming game week. Okay, so obviously we did roll last week, which means we have 2 transfers for this game week. I have made one already, as you can see on screen. I have moved Phil Foden out for Declan Rice. Now, there's 2 things to caveat with this. Number one, in hindsight, I made that move on the weekend just to avoid price rises. Foden was dropping and Rice was going up, so I saved myself 0.2 million there. Would I have made that move if I could turn back time? Probably not. And the reason why is, there's 2 reasons why. Number one, when I made that transfer, I was very much under the mindset that I was going to wildcard. So I got it in to get Declan Rice, obviously, to save the price rise, to save the Foden price drop, and I was just going to bring Phil Foden back in for cheaper, essentially. So when I was doing that transfer, it was obviously under the impression that I was going to wildcard. However, as time's gone on, I've kind of looked at my team, and I don't really feel like I need to use my wildcard this week. I feel like, with the free transfers that I've got, it should theoretically be enough. I should have moved Mateus Cunha out for Declan Rice. That should have been the transfer that I made. The only reason why I didn't was only because, Foden was dropping in price. Obviously, Man City have got Burnley next week, so I'm a little bit like, maybe I should activate my wildcard to save him. But the other reason why I got him out is I want to see how Antoine Semenyo fits into this team. Obviously, Foden has been blanking over the last few weeks, and he's currently owned by a lot of people. So the other thought process for me was that if I get rid of Foden, if Semenyo either starts against Man United or looks really good, then he may well be the midfielder that I bring in to supplement, my Man City spot. Obviously, you've got the likes of Ryan Cherky, Jeremy Doku, Foden, now Semenyo. So there's a few players in there who, are going to be competing for minutes, of course, but that's just natural with the Man City side. So yeah, I've made one transfer already. Like I said, Declan Rice to Phil Foden. As I said, if I could go back, would I do it? Probably not, but I don't think it's the end of the world, really. Now, the other transfer that I'm looking at is Jarrod Bowen. He is 100% leaving my team this week. The question is, who is it going to be for? I've narrowed it down to 2 options. One is Igor Thiago, who obviously we know how good a form he's on, but maybe has he missed those optimal fixtures? The other one is actually Liam Delap. Now, he is a real big differential for me for 2 reasons. Number one, Chelsea, and we're going to talk about them in the next section, are about to come on a very nice run of fixtures. And for me, I'm always trying to look at getting on players before they've started returning, because obviously, you know, if a couple of games in, if Delap gets a few goals, people naturally gravitate towards him. So you miss out on that sort of rank gain. So it's a little bit of a gamble, really. You're going for somebody who is tried and tested. Obviously, Igor Thiago, 15 goals in the league this season. He's been on fire recently. Liam Delap hasn't really hit the heights this season, but they have a new manager now under Liam Rossinho, who actually, I think them two have got quite a good relationship. They've worked together in the past. So maybe he is what is going to get the best out of Liam Delap. So I'll have to wait and see. I'll wait and see how Chelsea line up against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Obviously, if we see that Liam Delap's starting, then we know, you know, that is going to be probably more often than not their main starting 11. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. But Jarrod Bowen is 100% going to be leaving my team this week. Okay, so here we go. So this is what my teams to target are for the next sort of 4, 5, 6 game weeks. I'm going to do quite a small sample size because I think there are a few teams here that actually really got on a very nice run. So we'll start off, as we just left off that last section, with Chelsea. They've obviously got a really, really nice run of fixtures. They've got all three of the teams who are down the bottom: Wolves, Leeds and Burnley. Brentford's there, who they play this week at home. So they have a really nice batch of fixtures. Now the question is, who should we be targeting from these teams? Liam Delap, we've spoken about just then. I think he is definitely a viable option for me. Cole Palmer is another one which I'm thinking about, which is why I was considering a wild card, because part of me did want to get him in. I'll have to wait and see how he plays against Arsenal. I'd imagine he'd line up. I'm interested to see where he's going to play, if he's going to play as a number 10 or off of the right. So I'll probably just leave Cole Palmer this week against Brentford at home, just see how Chelsea get on under Liam Rossinho. Obviously, it's still early days for him, so we'll have to wait and see how Chelsea get to grips with it. Pedro Neto is the other midfielder that I'm looking at. Obviously, if he's going to continue to play 90 minutes, then I am really interested in him. But again, it's almost like we need to wait and just see how Rossinho is going to line up, because we don't really know what his structure is going to be, what formation he's going to play. So I think time will tell on that one. And of course, two defenders, Reece James and Trevor Chalobah. I think there's a high chance that Chelsea are going to get a few clean sheets over the next few weeks. Chalobah is very good for DEFCON. Does pop up with the odd goal from corners as well, but Reece James obviously has the assist threat, has the set piece as well, and of course the clean sheet. It's just whether or not he's going to play 90 minutes in every game. That is the other question. Crystal Palace up next. Now, Crystal Palace have got, again, not as good as run of fixtures as Chelsea, but they've got, you know, a few of the teams down the bottom, the likes of Sunderland. They've got Brighton in there, who obviously it's a big game for Palace themselves because they're a rival. There's not really too many players I'd be looking at in attack in this one other than Mateta. I think he's the only one who's probably going to be on penalties if he's on the pitch. Obviously, with Nketiah there's always chance for rotation as well. So I'm not really a massive fan of him. I think I'd probably be looking towards more the defensive side of things. Obviously, Chris Richards at 4.4 million, I think he is at the time of me recording this, is a fantastic price. Obviously, Mark Gahey, we know how good he is. Daniel Munoz is set to come back soon. And obviously, before he was injured, he was really, you know, he was getting points every week, whether it be through assists, goals, you know, clean sheets for Palace. So he's another one who has quite a high upside, and obviously would have taken a few price drops by the time, you know, we're looking around to bring him back in. So I think Palace, for me, I'll probably be looking more towards the defensive side of things. But, you know, Mateta may still offer something, but I just think that right now, obviously, with the likes of Igor Thiago, we all have Erling Haaland, Ollie Watkins is looking good, Ekitike, if he's Liverpool's main man. So I think there's just probably a couple of options ahead, you know, of looking at Mateta right now. And last up for the teams that we're looking to select this week is going to be Arsenal. They've got some decent fixtures coming up. They've got Leeds, they've got Tottenham, they've got Nottingham Forest. You know, they've got a real nice plethora of fixtures. Again, almost like Crystal Palace, I think I'd probably be looking to target more the defence. Now, there's been a big questions around Arsenal around the last couple of weeks about should we still double up on the Arsenal defence. I personally think so. I understand that obviously going for the two who I've got here, Timber and Gabriel, it's a very, very expensive double. You know, you're paying nearly 30 million for two defenders, which is insane. But obviously, Gabriel has the assist threat. I think the only reason why Timber is up there for me is just because he offers maybe a little bit more security of starts. But obviously, with Nketiah getting injured now, it's looking like Calafiori is coming back. I think Calafiori is about 0.7, 0.8 cheaper than Timber. And I think Calafiori does pop up in these nice little attacking spots as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind going for Calafiori anyway, if you're just looking to save a little bit of money. Declan Rice, of course, you know, I brought him back in this week. I had him for so long, took him out when he got that big haul against Bournemouth, and I brought him back in anyway. He's just somebody who's going to tick over nicely. He'll get DEFCONs in some games. He'll get assists from corners. He'll pop up with open play goals like we saw against Bournemouth. I think all round, you know, for the value he's at, he's a fantastic price. And of course, Bukayo Saka is going to be on there. Probably will be Arsenal's penalty taker. Arsenal not really creating a massive amount from open play at the moment, or they are, but they're just being quite wasteful. I do think that Bukayo Saka will start to come good. I think, you know, as we get towards, you know, the back end of the season, he's going to have to start turning up in games to get attacking returns. So I do like him, but I just think at the price he's at, I think I'd probably try and pivot to a Cole Palmer right now as opposed to Bukayo Saka. Okay, so let's take a look at what my Game Week 22 team selection is looking like. So far, we've got Donnarumma in goal. Again, we are going to keep him for probably this week, maybe next week, depending on when I play my wild card, but he will stay. He's away at Manchester United this week, which on paper you think is quite a good fixture, but the Man United Man City game, you just never know what's going to happen in that. So he's going to just stay there for now, but obviously we have a plan to get rid of him. Double Arsenal defence, Gabriel and Timber are going away to Nottingham Forest. Lewis Hall's going away to Wolves. So obviously 4 out of our 5 defensive players are all going away, which is never ideal. but they are decent fixtures on paper. The one who is at home is Trevor Chalobah. He's got Brentford at home, so obviously we're going to start him. Then we come on to the midfield now. I need a better return this week. Obviously, Bruno Guimaraes has been fantastic the last sort of 3 game weeks for us. He's away at Wolves. Again, that doesn't really matter about away leg when it comes to midfielders and attackers. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he can continue his fine form. Declan Rice, our new signing, coming in. Nottingham Forest away. I think will be quite a tricky game on paper. I do expect Arsenal to obviously get through it, but I think Forest may just well sit in quite deep and just look to be really difficult to break down. So we'll have to wait and see how that one goes. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can see something from him. The other 2 I've got in this midfield is Morgan Rogers. He's at home to Everton, which obviously on paper is a good fixture. They will be out without Michael Keane, so there will be a little bit of change at the back line for Everton. And then Harry Wilson is going away to Leeds. He's been in great form over the last few weeks, and anything Fulham seem to do kind of goes for him. Of course, he's on set pieces as well, so yeah, he's more than a fine hold for me. And up front, Erling Haaland away at Manchester United. He will be my captain. Every time Haaland plays against Man United, he always does something. So he will 100% be my captain. I'm not even considering going away from him this week. And of course, Dominic Calvert-Lewin partners him up front with the fixture of Fulham at home. Only one change that may happen with this team is obviously if I get rid of Jarrod Bowen for Thiago or Delap, they will be starting. So I'd probably end up taking one of the defenders out. Maybe Lewis Hall, because I actually don't think that Newcastle are going to keep a clean sheet against Wolves. I think out of everyone in that back line, I think they probably got the least chance. But it will probably be either Hall or Chalobah who comes out. So yeah, that only happens if I make the transfer. But I think I will be moving Jarrod Bowen out this week. So that is what my Game Week 22 team is looking like. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll be back maybe Thursday. I'll timestamp for this. I'm recording this on Tuesday. I'll be back on Thursday morning probably with an FPL challenge video. And then Friday morning, we'll be back with the final team selection video where we go over stats, goal scoring odds, clean sheet odds. I'll answer any key questions that you guys have around this game week and a whole lot more as well. So stay tuned for that. But as always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I'll catch you guys next time.